Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Colorado Fire College. I'm your host, Chris Gay.
And I'm firefighter EMT Eric Schull.
In today's episode, we're going to be going over the ERG, the Emergency Response Guide. It is a book designed to help you with transportation hazmat incidents for the first 30 minutes to an hour, allowing more responders, such as hazmat techs, to get on scene. This book is republished every 4 years, ensuring it's up to date with the most scientific information. It is used well with the NIOSH Guide. This book is utilized in Canada, North America, Mexico, and Argentina. It is divided into a couple different sections, with the white section having the instruction on page 1. The next two sections, yellow and blue, will help you identify the product, and the orange section is a guide on how to respond to the incident. Lastly, we've got the green section, which are isolation tables, which includes a large spill section and a small spill section, along with day and night responses. So Eric's going to go over the next few sections.
I first want to start by saying that your size up for a hazmat incident starts before you even get to the hazmat call or before you're dispatched. If you work with the same crew a lot, then that means you can discuss with them what each person's roles will be on that call, or just knowing your department's SOPs and SOGs. If you work for a volunteer department or you work somewhere that you don't have the same crew a lot, then you might have to just figure it out as you're responding. But in that case, you always want to have it in your mind that it could possibly be a hazmat incident. So things like a motor vehicle accident involving a tractor trailer or something, keep in mind that it could be a hazmat call rather than just a crash. So if you do arrive at a call where there is something like that, like a tanker over or anything like that, there will be placards, which we'll discuss in a second and show you an example of. On that placard, which should be on all sides of the vehicle, at least sides and back, there will be the placard. There's a number on the placard. If you look at that number, then go to the yellow pages of the ERG. On the left side, you will see that number, and then right next to it, there will be a guide number, which is in the orange pages. So if you were, for instance, to see if you had 1170 as your placard number, that would be guide number 127. So you would go to your orange pages, find 127, and that will then give you the initial steps that you need to take, including what your biggest risk factor is. In this case, at the top you see fire or explosion, meaning that is your biggest risk. Below it is health risks. It'll also include things like protective clothing that you may need, as well as evacuation distances. And if there's anything in here highlighted in green, that means you go to the green section here, and it'll tell you exactly which table to go to, if you want to talk about that.
Absolutely. The isolation tables are key to ensuring you guys set up your proper zones. Now, as a general rule of thumb in hazmat, if it's a solid product, 75 feet. If it's a liquid product, 150 feet. And if a gaseous product, 330 feet. But some of these products can be more volatile than that, requiring a larger isolation zone. And that's where the green section comes in very handy. Also, I mentioned earlier that it's got two different charts to look at, a small spill and a large spill. Now, most people understand that a small spill is anything under 55 gallons, which is the equivalent of one oil drum or barrel. Let's say 2 barrels fall off. Well, now we're at 110 gallon, making that a large spill. In addition to that, it has two different response guides for day and night, because temperature does play a fact in hazardous material response guides. So now we've discussed how to use the book, let's actually apply it. Let's say you're dispatched to a call that has this placard number, 1993. Some of you already know this by heart, but we're going to look it up. As you can tell, it's got a flame symbol, meaning it's fire risk, and it's also red with a category 3 being the second highest risk factors. So with 1993, we're going to start by going to the yellow section. And on page 47 in the yellow section, we find 1993 in the second column towards the bottom, described as a flammable liquid. Its guide number is guide number 28. And as I'll show you here, it is not highlighted in green, which means we do not need to jump to the isolation tables. Now that I've gotten to guide 128, it's listing fire and explosion as its number one health hazard, or number one hazard, health being listed second. If health was listed first, it means it's a bigger health risk than a fire risk. As you can see from this chart, there is no thing highlighted in green, so again, the isolation tables are not needed. From there, it's going to start outlining what you need to do to control your situation. what you need for protective equipment, and your evacuation distances. It also has one last section here called first aid, which is also helpful should you have someone come in contact with the product. Let's say it happened as the driver's getting out of the truck running away from the accident. He managed to step in the product. Now we need to look at deconning him as well. So that's the ERG book in a nutshell. This is a very vital tool to all hazmat incidents and something you should become very familiar with. This book has the potential to save your life when used properly, so please do not misuse it or throw it aside. Make sure that you're always referencing it prior to getting on scene and staying a good distance away from the product itself. Well, until next time, be safe out there.
See you next time.